let us talk about political apathy and cultism. These are two important topics in civic education. They appear in your exams every year. By the end of this lesson, you will understand what political apathy means, its causes and effects, what cultism means, its causes and effects, the relationship between them, and how to answer exam questions. Pay attention, take notes. Let us go. First, what is political apathy? Political apathy is a lack of interest in political activities. It is when citizens do not care about politics. They do not vote. They do not follow political news. They do not join political parties. They do not attend political rallies. They do not discuss political issues. They simply ignore politics. Political apathy is a problem for democracy. Democracy depends on citizens being active and informed. When citizens are apathetic, they do not hold their leaders accountable. Bad leaders can stay in power. Corruption can go unchecked. The quality of democracy declines. Now, let me explain the causes of political apathy. There are many reasons why citizens become apathetic. The first cause is lack of trust in the political system. When citizens believe that politicians are corrupt, that elections are rigged, and that their votes do not matter, they stop participating. They see no point in voting because they think nothing will change. The second cause is lack of education. Citizens who do not understand how politics works are less likely to participate. They may not know how to register to vote. They may not know when elections are held. They may not understand the issues. The third cause is poverty. When people are struggling to survive, they have no time or energy for politics. They are focused on finding food, paying rent, and taking care of their families. Politics seems like a luxury they cannot afford. The fourth cause is disappointment with past governments. When citizens have voted for leaders who promised change but delivered nothing, they become disillusioned. They feel betrayed. They decide not to vote again. The fifth cause is fear of violence. In some places, elections are violent. People are killed or injured. Citizens stay away to protect themselves. The sixth cause is the feeling that politics is dirty. Many people see politics as a game for the rich and powerful. They see politicians as liars and thieves. They do not want to be associated with that world. The seventh cause is lack of visible results. When citizens vote but do not see any improvement in their lives, they lose motivation. They ask, why should I vote when the roads are still bad, schools are still poor, and there are still no jobs? Now, let me explain the effects of political apathy. Political apathy has serious consequences for a country. The first effect is poor governance. When citizens do not participate, bad leaders can be elected and re-elected. They have no incentive to serve the people because they know the people are not watching. They can steal, lie, and neglect their duties without consequences. The second effect is corruption. Political apathy allows corruption to flourish. When no one is monitoring the government, officials can take public money for themselves. There is no accountability. The third effect is low voter turnout. When many citizens do not vote, elections are decided by a small minority. The government may not truly represent the will of the people. The fourth effect is weak democracy. Democracy requires active citizens. When citizens are apathetic, democracy becomes a hollow shell. Elections happen, but they are not meaningful. The government does not respond to the people. The fifth effect is that bad policies continue. When citizens do not speak up, the government has no reason to change bad policies. Harmful laws stay on the books. Needed reforms do not happen. The sixth effect is that interest groups take over. When ordinary citizens are apathetic, powerful interest groups step into the vacuum. They lobby the government for policies that benefit them at the expense of everyone else. The poor and powerless have no voice. Now let us move to cultism. What is cultism? Cultism is the practice of belonging to a secret society or cult, usually on a university campus or in the community. Cult members often engage in violent and criminal activities. They are bound by secret oaths and rituals. They pledge loyalty to the cult above all else, even above family, religion, and the law. Cultism is a serious problem in many Nigerian universities. Cult groups like the Black Axe, Buccaneers, and AI have been responsible for countless deaths, injuries, and crimes. Now let me explain the causes of cultism. Why do young people join cults? There are many reasons. The first cause is the desire for power. Cults offer young people a sense of power that they do not have otherwise. Members can bully other students. They can get what they want through violence and intimidation. The second cause is the desire for protection. On some campuses, students join cults to protect themselves from other cults. They believe that if they are not in a cult, they will be attacked. This fear drives more students to join, making the problem worse. The third cause is peer pressure. Friends and classmates may pressure a student to join. They may say that everyone is doing it. They may threaten to harm the student if he does not join. The fourth cause is the desire for quick wealth. Some cults promise their members money, cars, and other luxuries. Desperate young people who see no other path to success may be tempted. The fifth cause is lack of parental guidance. Students who are far from home and have no strong family support are more vulnerable to cult recruitment. They are looking for belonging and structure, and the cult provides it. The sixth cause is frustration with society. Young people who are frustrated by poverty, unemployment, and injustice may turn to cults as a way to fight back. The cult offers them a way to get revenge on a society that has failed them. The seventh cause is the influence of popular culture. Some movies, music, and social media glamorize cultism. They portray cult members as powerful, rich, and respected. Young people who do not understand the reality may be attracted by this false image. Now, let me explain the effects of cultism. Cultism has devastating effects on individuals, schools, and society. For the individual, joining a cult can lead to death. Many cult members are killed in clashes with rival cults. Others are killed by the police or by vigilantes. Those who survive may end up in prison. They may be expelled from school. They may have criminal records that prevent them from getting jobs. They may be rejected by their families. They may suffer from psychological trauma. For the university, cultism creates an atmosphere of fear. Students are afraid to go to class. Lecturers are afraid to fail students who are cult members. The quality of education declines. The university's reputation is damaged. Good students stay away. For society, cultism contributes to violence and crime. Cult members are involved in armed robbery, assassination, drug trafficking, and other crimes. They destabilize communities. They make it difficult for businesses to operate. They cost the government money in police and prison expenses. Now let me explain the relationship between political apathy and cultism. These two problems are connected. Political apathy means that citizens do not participate in the political process. They do not vote. They do not hold leaders accountable. When leaders are not accountable, they do not address problems like cultism. They do not fund programs to prevent cultism. They do not enforce laws against cultism. They do not provide jobs and opportunities for young people. This creates a vacuum. Young people who are frustrated and hopeless turn to cults as an alternative. In other words, political apathy allows the conditions that breed cultism to persist. When citizens are apathetic, they do not demand change. They do not vote for leaders who will fight cultism. They do not speak out against cultism. This makes it easier for cults to grow. Solving cultism requires active citizenship. It requires citizens who care. It requires citizens who vote, who speak out, and who hold their leaders accountable. Political apathy is the enemy of progress. It allows all kinds of problems, including cultism, to continue. A common exam question asks you to define political apathy and explain its causes. Here is a sample answer. Political apathy is a lack of interest in political activities. Its causes include lack of trust in the political system, lack of education, poverty, disappointment with past governments, fear of violence, the perception that politics is dirty, and lack of visible results from voting. These factors make citizens feel that their participation does not matter, so they withdraw from political life. Another exam question asks you to discuss the effects of political apathy. Here is your answer. Political apathy leads to poor governance because citizens do not hold leaders accountable. It leads to corruption because no one is monitoring the government. It leads to low voter turnout, which means elections do not truly represent the will of the people. It weakens democracy. It allows bad policies to continue. It allows powerful interest groups to take over while ordinary citizens have no voice. Another exam question asks you to explain the causes of cultism. Here is your answer. The causes of cultism include the desire for power, the desire for protection from other cults, peer pressure, the desire for quick wealth, lack of parental guidance, frustration with society, and the influence of popular culture that glamorizes cult life. Young people who are vulnerable, isolated, or desperate are most at risk of joining cults. Another exam question asks you to discuss the effects of cultism. Here is your answer. Cultism leads to death, injury, and imprisonment for members. It disrupts university life and creates an atmosphere of fear. It damages the reputation of schools. It contributes to violence and crime in society. It drains government resources for policing and prisons. It destroys the futures of young people who get involved. Let us quickly go over what we have learned. Political apathy is a lack of interest in politics caused by distrust, poverty, disappointment, fear, and lack of education. Its effects include poor governance, corruption, low voter turnout, weak democracy, and continued bad policies. Cultism is belonging to secret cults that engage in violence and crime. It is caused by desire for power and protection, peer pressure, frustration, and lack of guidance. Its effects include death, prison, disrupted education, and community violence. The two are connected because political apathy allows the conditions that breed cultism to persist. That is what you need for your exam. Practice these points until you can say them without looking at your notes. When you are ready, move to topic 7.